is wrong with the men in the West, bro? Why are they so dead? When I'm in the Middle East, I'm in Dubai, for example, or when I'm in Iraq, men actually notice me. Like, they actually look at me. I can see the desire in their eyes. They somehow indirectly connect with your femininity. Not that I need it. Not that I go out and say, okay, today's the day I'm gonna get looked at by men. No, but I notice that they notice me. And the truth is, I feel like a woman. Okay, when I notice that about other men, I feel like a woman. But here in the West, I'm in Sweden right now, I don't fucking feel like a woman. Like, I don't know how to explain this feeling to you guys, but I literally don't feel like a woman here. At least not as much as I do in the Middle East. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with the men here? Why do they have no desire? Why do they not know how to appreciate a good-looking woman? Where did your manhood go? The thing is, like, Swedish people, they're the descendants of the Vikings, okay? The Vikings were so masculine, so passionate. What the fuck is this? No, they just don't have that about them. Like, the men here, I don't know. They don't have it.
So here we have a case of main character syndrome. She feels the need that she has to be the center of attention at all times. I wouldn't be surprised if she's re-entering rooms, okay, in and out of rooms until people notice her. So here we have a case in Sweden. Anyone from Sweden, feel free to comment below. But we have men in Sweden that are simply protecting their peace, right? They're literally minding their business and just living their lives. And she can't stand it, right? According to her, she doesn't feel like a woman, right? She doesn't feel like a woman until random men are showering her with attention and making her feel good, which is quite fascinating because I guarantee if those same guys were giving her attention, she would probably make another video saying that these guys are creeps.
What about me being very disappointed in black men choosing other races such as Spanish, white, and Arabic, whatever?
And you have a right to feel that way. But when you guys also say that y'all have the presence of a resting bitch face and expecting that man to kiss your ass to get to know you, it's a problem for me.
Because my resting bitch face is sexy.
Huh?
That's how I feel.
It's not.
A sexy
It's disgusting.
Okay, so what about
That's what you think. That's your ego.
That's what most men think.
All right, wait.
Me,
no men think that's sexy.
All right, so
I'm just saying, you can be more approachable. I'm not here to harm you. I'm not here to disrespect you.
Why?
Look, why? Look, you just proving my point.
Yo, is this the fatigue that some of y'all be talking about? Right? I'm just saying. She's saying that her resting B face is attractive. What man is gonna look at a resting B face and be like, wow, I wanna work 60+ hours a week, protect and provide, sacrifice my happiness for this woman that looks like she's about to pistol whip me, right? She's about to put hands and feet on me. Right? I'm just saying she has her gnarled fingers, okay? She's growling at me, and I'm gonna say, she looks adorable.
Men with money are not fun. Men with money are not fun. And people have said this to me. They're like, oh, it must be because you're used to toxicity. It's not about toxicity. It's about the fact that men with money usually are completely 1,000% invested in their work, their businesses, their careers. They don't talk about anything else other than that. It's almost like their job or their money is their personality. That's not enough. It's just not enough. Like, what do you like to do as a person? What brings you fulfillment? Not work. We weren't created just to work. So what else is there? That's what makes it boring.
They want a millionaire guy, a mover and shaker, a guy that's making a whole bunch of money, but also has unlimited time, right? If you're broke and you have unlimited time, they would have a problem with it. If you're a mover and shaker and trying to build something, trying to invest money, time, and energy into a business, but you don't have as much time, they're still gonna complain about it, right? So with these particular individuals in their mind, the Disney fairy tale, they want a man that's already built, already has the money, over 6'5", 6'4", what have you, and has all the time in the world to go on these lavish trips, vacations, dinners, this, that, and the third. right? So I just find it funny when these women talk about how they're boss babes and they're hyper independent and they're gurus and all this other stuff. But then they talk like this, right? It's like, I know you're not about that life, right? I know deep down inside that these chicks that really talk like this, they're probably broke themselves, right? Let's keep it real. So listen, man, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Just live your life and keep it moving.
Propaganda that I'm not falling for is dating men. You cannot convince me that dating men is not harm. It's literally a humiliation ritual, y'all. Like, I don't know how else to put this, but we're not supposed to be dating men. Us women, we're not supposed to be out here dating these men. I feel like we're supposed to be independent. We're supposed to be stress-free, happy, glowing, you know, living our best lives. The minute you add a man to that, all of that goes out the window. Like, there's nothing why would you even want to date a man? Okay, these men are demons. They are literal vampires sucking the energy out of you. Why would you want someone sucking the energy out of you? I'm not falling for it.
I mean, no one's forcing you to date men, right? In fact, she can buy a cat, right? That would probably be more upper alley when it comes to decentering men, right? Although a lot of these modern women talk about they're decentering men. Meanwhile, that's all they talk about is men, right? So, you know, hey, buy a cat, maybe date women. Yeah.
I fumbled the man I probably should have married, and I'm making this post so that y'all don't do the same thing that I did. This is an accountability post. I met him on Hinge, and this was back when the algorithm was working a lot better, and it was like 2022, I believe. I didn't like his profile. I just knew he was gonna like me, and the next day he did. Normally I name names, but just in case he has a new girl and they're at peace, I don't want to disrupt his situation, so I'm not gonna name his name. But anyway, we met up quickly, we went on a date, and we ended up being like glued to each other pretty fast. We were like in a relationship within like a month, I believe. He locked it down. He was not trying to see me single. This man was fine. He was like 6'3", buff, long hair. He looked like Roman Reigns. Society would easily give him a 9, easily. And if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But frankly, his looks were pretty irrelevant, honestly. He actually was very kind, very sweet, very empathetic, very emotional, very in tune with his emotions, but also quite emotional. And, you know, he just had a lot of very positive traits. The number one being, he did not play about me at all. We went to brunch with his brother and sister-in-law, and they were kind of cold, like not really like, I don't know, warming up to me. And he called that out immediately. He was like, absolutely not. When his brother was not trying to get to know me after like we had met, he was like, can you put more effort in with Britt? Like, that's my girl. Like, put some respect on Britt's name. Like, he did not play about me at all. I had never in my life dated a man like that. I had never dated a man who was on my side. Like, who, like, I don't know, defended me. I've never had that before. He also impressed my parents. My mom liked him a lot. She said I broke his heart, and honestly, I agree. But yes, my parents liked him a lot. So we dated for like 6 months, and I kept feeling like something was just missing throughout the relationship. Like, something just felt like it was missing.
Yeah, chaos, destruction, drama, up and down, roller coaster, zigzag, all of the above. The perfect guy, according to her, perfect catch. You know, society would give him a 9 out of 10. Tall, muscular. You know, he did all the right things. He was protecting, providing, doing all this other stuff, and it still wasn't good enough, right? So it seems like she's teeing up to something here. Let's keep going. But I mean, this happens far too often.
And I would communicate that to him like, oh, I like you a lot, I love you, but like something's just missing. And I didn't know what it was, and this poor guy was just doing his best to try to figure out what was missing, like trying to make adjustments, but like he just couldn't figure it out, and neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that.
Yeah, so there you have it. There you have it. I mean, she said the quiet part out loud. Chaos. Chaos is what was missing from the relationship. So, you know, hey, at least she was honest about it. Again, she is saying the quiet part out loud, but this is nothing new.
And that's all I had ever been used to. You see, I had not taken the time to like truly heal myself after my relationship prior to him, which was with an abusive guy. Very abusive, emotionally avoidant guy, emotionally unavailable, everything. Okay, I had not healed from that. Not enough to be with a person who was safe. And so one day when he pissed me off, I broke up with him like on a whim. Because the majority of my prior relationships were with like antagonistic men, I was not ready to receive someone who was safe and loving and kind and caring. Maybe I didn't think I deserved it. Maybe I couldn't recognize what it was. My nervous system didn't know what to do with safe. My parents were kind of emotionally unavailable. Growing up in that dynamic, you kind of look for that in partners as well. So I ended up with emotionally unavailable men back to back to back. That brings me to my next point. For a while, what I felt like the relationship was lacking was him being a true leader. He would defer to me to make a lot of decisions because he felt like I was more intelligent than him. He would want me to like plan stuff. He would want me to just like make a lot of choices that I felt like the man should make. And I just didn't want to do that. I wanted like a leader in the way that I saw leader, how I viewed it.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, to say that he wasn't a leader. Based on the information that she was saying prior here, it seems like she is maybe looking at things to say, oh, well, this is the reason why I didn't feel a certain way, or something was missing from the relationship. Okay, so you got 90% of what you were looking for, and the 10% of what you, I guess, couldn't find in the relationship, that was an excuse to leave. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not buying that. I think he was perhaps leaning on you for certain things in the relationship. Perhaps you were good at organizing or planning things. Maybe he saw that perhaps you were good at that, and he was leaning on you for that specifically. But to say that he wasn't a leader at all, or he didn't lead the way you liked, or, you know, whatever, however you want to spin it. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm buying that, but let me know what you guys think about that.
But like, knowing that he has weaknesses and that I have strengths, and then deferring to me where he's weak and letting him take the reins where he's strong is leadership. Like, okay, he could lead when it comes to protecting and providing and whatever, but he may have needed help with planning and stuff that he's not so good at, but I just couldn't see that at the time because I was dumb. I thought I needed 10 out of 10 boxes checked, but relationships are not found, they are built. Soulmates are built. Boxes can be built. If the person is at 7 or 8 and the last 2 need some work, you can meet them halfway. They can meet you halfway. Adjustments can be made. You don't have to break up. So though he had 8 of my 10 boxes, I was still too traumatized to accept him. I couldn't regulate my own nervous system fully yet. I had gotten to that point at 25 and met a very abusive man at 26, and I lost all my progress. So I still needed chaos, and I ruined it. The next guy I dated after that ended up being another avoidant who was emotionally unavailable and ended up breaking my heart worse than anybody else I'd ever experienced in my entire life. So I got my karma pretty fast, I guess. Let this be a lesson. If you've met someone who's good, they protect you well, they show up, they love you, but you feel like something's missing or something feels off or whatever the case may be, or it feels boring, make sure that something is not just the trauma that you're used to. Make sure that, you know, you have healed enough to even receive what they're offering you. You don't need a perfect man. You just need a man that checks enough boxes that you can work with the rest. Anyway, that angel wasn't even on social media like that, so he'll probably never see this, but still, if you do see this, I hope you're doing great.
Unfortunately, this is not a unique situation. This happens time and time again, where these modern women will throw away a good man providing 90% of what they're looking for, and they'll throw them back in the ocean thinking that they're going to find the other 10%. Now, in retrospect, I guess hindsight is 2020 here. She's now saying to herself, wait a minute, maybe he wasn't so bad after all, right? He was checking most of the boxes off, and, you know, he was a pretty good guy. So again, we've seen this time and time again where women start to reminisce on the past, or they want to circle the block, right? So now a man has to come into this situation. I don't know if she's healed or not, fully healed. Maybe she's on her journey. Who knows? But, you know, a guy now has to come into this situation saying to himself, does she even really want me like that? Or is she still thinking about the other dude? Has she healed from the past trauma? She mentioned she has a strained relationship with her parents. She was in an abusive relationship. She got into another relationship. The guy broke her heart. So it's just bad relationship after bad relationship, bad decision after bad decision. Now a new guy needs to come into this situation, and it's like, man, do I really want to, you know what I mean? So, and it sounds like she's now living with regret. Okay, the regret of a good man moving on with his life. okay, maybe he has a new girlfriend, perhaps getting married, moving forward with his life, having children, who knows? And she's here making TikTok videos. So who knows? Hopefully she's able to overcome this and she's in a better space. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Give me some feedback, and until next time.